Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to my channel. This is Brad with Being Chill. Today we're going to be taking a look at the newly announced dual screen smartphone from LG, the LG Wing. And what makes this phone so unique is its swiveling movement that allows you to swivel the main screen to the top in a horizontal format and have a smaller screen at the bottom, which will allow you to multitask, use specialized apps that LG is making, and other tools that they're going to allow you to take full advantage of this unique hardware set that we're seeing on the LG Wing. Now, we have heard rumors that the price and specs and the release date of these devices is going to vary from carrier to carrier. We do know for a fact that Verizon will be getting this phone first, likely sometime in the fall in the next 3 months, and then AT&T and T-Mobile and other carriers will be getting this device shortly after that. We do know the rumored price range is about $1,000 based on speculation, considering the price range of other smartphones and other smartphones offered by LG. And we do know for a fact, due to Unbox Therapy's video earlier today, that there will be two colors. There will be Aurora Gray and Illusion Sky will be the two colors for this device. Now, if we take a look at the screens themselves, we're going to have a 6.8-inch screen on the top. Now, it will be OLED just like the smaller screen on the bottom, and it's going to run at a resolution of about 2460 by 1080p. And it's going to have no bezels or notches due to things like the pop-up selfie camera in the front, as well as an in-display fingerprint sensor that is going to allow for them to not have to use, bezels and notches like other phone manufacturers are currently doing. Now, this will add more moving parts to the device. However, they said that they have tested them thoroughly and it will likely be very mechanically sound. Now, the second screen is going to be a little bit smaller. It's going to be about 3.9 inches. It is OLED as well, and it will have similar screen design with no bezels or anything like that. And it's going to have a resolution of 1240 by 1080p. Now, let's talk about some of the camera specs of this device. Your main front-facing camera is going to be your 32 megapixel pop-up motorized camera. And on the back, you're going to have a 3-camera array, with your main camera being a 64 megapixel f1.8 aperture camera. Your second camera is going to be a 13 megapixel ultra wide f1.9 aperture camera. And lastly, and perhaps the most interesting camera, is going to be a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera that's going to have side mounted sensors, which is going to allow them to only be used when the screen is flipped out in gimbal mode, as they're calling it. And it's going to have built-in stabilization, which is going to allow you to take very smooth videos and not require the use of an external gimbal. Now, this camera will record in 4K, and from what I've seen so far, the stabilization looks really good and the camera quality is very comparable to what you see in other smartphone cameras that are already out today. So if you're looking for a good camera and you want to take advantage of this unique dual screen setup, this could be an interesting phone to get your hands on and try out. Now, let's talk about the main feature of this phone, the swiveling aspect. This reminds me of a phone that was released back in like 2002 by T-Mobile called the Sidekick. I don't know if any of you guys remember it. I'll put a picture of it up on the screen. But it is very cool to see them, bring this back, because it was a very popular phone back in the day. And this is going to kind of open up some doors. We're going to see more sliding phones, perhaps smartphones that have two screens that will slide side to side or up and down like we've seen in the past. Now, when the phone is swiveled to where the main screen is on the top in horizontal mode, you're going to be able to take advantage of this in a variety of ways. You're going to be able to do your typical multitasking like you've seen with other dual screen phones, where you can have one app open at the top and one app open at the bottom. And there's also going to be specialized apps that are going to be able to take advantage of this new second smaller screen. So for instance, some apps like YouTube are going to allow you to adjust playback options and have remote options like fast forward and pause and all that on the smaller bottom screen. And whenever you type in the search bar, it's going to have your keyboard at the bottom. And in the messaging app for LG, you're going to be able to type your message on the bigger screen while you have the thread opened on the smaller screen, or vice versa. And when you're using GPS, you can even orient it sideways to where you have your main screen in a vertical form, and on the side you have another app like a phone call or Spotify, or just anything you can think that you might need on the side there. And then additionally, we're going to be able to see games like Asphalt 8, which is going to allow you to have the smaller screen on the top with the horizontal screen on the bottom. And we've seen them play the game on the bottom with a map where you need to drive on the top. So, you know, a lot of cool features like that are in the work, but ultimately it's going to rely on third-party developers to make the majority of these apps work. And as we've seen with other dual screen phones like the Samsung Galaxy Fold and now the Microsoft Duo, you know, we're not really seeing developers take full advantage of this new dual screen phone, and it makes sense because it takes additional development time and it may impact how the app works on other devices, and it's just hard to support such a wide variety of devices, and they likely will not be as motivated to do so until this dual screen market has a wider user base. So for now, we're likely not going to see very much adoption on the third-party app side. However, we have seen LG work on some interesting first-party apps that will take full advantage of this, like the gallery on your phone, which is going to allow you to edit controls on the bottom while you're viewing a photo, or the most interesting one, which is the camera app, which is going to allow you to, you know, use your phone in gimbal mode, which is going to be your main screen horizontal with your smaller screen at the bottom, and it's going to give you a joystick, which is going to allow you to, you know, plan your shot and take full advantage of the cameras, and you can, you know, tilt the cameras and you can move them with this little joystick control, and you know, that's going to be really cool and especially a good feature. You can see them taking full advantage of this dual screen technology with this app, and this is kind of the app that they are going to put at the forefront as the main use for this type of technology, especially combined with the increased support of the included gimbals in that 12 megapixel ultra wide camera that will only be used in this gimbal mode. Now, we are going to see this device running the latest Android with a Qualcomm 765G chipset paired with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of internal storage, with the option to expand that storage up to 2 terabytes with an external micro SD card. And we're also going to see this device having 5G wireless charging, USB-C charging, and a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, as well as an in-display fingerprint reader, which is going to eliminate the need for notches and bezels on this main screen. Now, LG has decided to exclude some things from this device, one of those main things being a 3.5mm audio jack, which LG has stated there's simply not enough room on this device to include, especially due to all the moving parts, as well as the removal of waterproofing due to these same reasons. Now, I am wary about how durable this device is going to be. I'd be very worried about dust and other things getting trapped in between that sliding mechanism, which could in turn scratch the screen. However, they have come out and stated that there is a special coating on the back of the main screen which will prevent it from scratching that bottom screen whenever you're swiveling it. So it's at least nice that they've taken this into consideration. However, they will have a tough time putting a case on this, I believe, and any case that they could put on it, I believe, will not have, you know, full drop protection and other things you're going to see from most smartphone cases, just because of this interesting sliding mechanism and the fact that some of these parts can be damaged even if the exterior of the phone is not damaged due to all these moving pieces. Now, LG has come out and stated that they have tested the swiveling mechanism of this device up to 200,000 swivels and it functioned properly. So most consumers that buy this will likely never swivel it more than 200,000 times, and that will likely last the lifetime of the device. However, I am skeptical, and I would like to see how this mechanism lasts in the real world when people are pulling it in and out of their pocket and stuff gets wedged in there, as well as the mechanisms for the cameras and other moving parts of this device. Now, lastly, I want to touch on the dimensions of the device. It is pretty impressive how they got so much functionality packed in such a small device. This device is only 270 grams and only 0.43 inches thick, which is really good compared to the Galaxy S20, which is 220 grams and 0.35 inches thick. This really shows that this phone is not going to add a lot of bulk, and it's going to be very comparable to some of the non-dual screen phones that you're going to see, because some people might just not like the added bulk from folding a phone and putting it in their pocket. And we can kind of see Microsoft slightly addressing this with the Surface Duo. However, LG has really solved that problem if that's your main concern with these phones. So this could be something worth looking into for you. Well, that just about wraps up everything I've got for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was informative. I hope you guys are excited for the LG Wing. I'm definitely excited to see them shake up the smartphone industry with this new dual screen approach. And I'm excited to see what kind of smartphones we might see in the future with this same technology. So once again, this is Brad with Being Chill. Thanks for checking out my channel. If you watched up to this point, please like, comment, and subscribe on this video. It means a lot. That's all for today. Peace.